Now problem from sequence series. 5 numbers are in AP whose sum is 25 and product is 2520. If one of these 5 numbers is minus 1 by 2, so what is that number? It is not given, but one of these 5 numbers is minus 1 by 2, then the greatest number among them is. Alright. The sum of that 5 numbers is 25 and the product is 2520. Now, whenever we want 3 terms or 4 terms or 5 terms IP, there is a particular way to select. Whenever you want 5 terms of an AP, 5 terms of an AP, how to select them? A minus 2D, A minus D, A plus D, and one minute we want 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more, A plus 2D. This is a way of selecting 5 terms of an AP. If you want 3 terms, you can select these 3 terms, right? So here, whose sum is 25? If you add all this, you must get 25. Now, if you add all this, what happens? Plus D minus 2D plus 2D will be cancelled. So if you sum, if you say 25, if you add the above terms, 5 terms, you get actually A plus A plus A plus A plus A, which is 5A. So you get 5A is equals to 25, from which you will get A value which is equals to 5. Now once again, the product is given 2520. What is the product of all these 5 terms? Whenever you multiply A minus 2D into A plus 2D will become A square minus 4D square. And then A minus D into A plus D will become A square minus D square. And into A, which is equals to 2520. Now you can copy the value of A. What is the A value? 5. So 5 square 25 minus 4D square into again A square 25 minus D square, again A value 5, which is equals to 2520. Now here you can cancel 5, 0, 4. Okay, so 5504 cancel 2520. Now after this, do one thing here. For some time, let us suppose, let it be directly, you can multiply 25 into 25, 625 minus 25 D square, then minus 25 fours are 100 D square, and minus into minus plus 4D power 4 minus 504, which is equals to 0. So this implies 4D power 4 first we write, minus 25D square minus 100D square minus 125D square, and 625 minus 504 is how much? Okay, if you subtract 500 we get 125, and one more 4, if you subtract you get 121. So plus 121, which is equals to 0. So 121 4 size 125, directly factorization is there. So minus 121 D square minus 4D square plus 121 is equals to 0. So it's a matter of factorization. So now what we have here, you can take D square common. If you take D square common, you get 4D square minus 121, and here minus common 4D square minus 121, which is equals to 0. So we got here 4D square is equals to 121 1 choice. The other choice is D square is minus 1 equals to 0, D square is equal to 1. So here we got D square is equal to plus or minus 1, and here we got D square, or D is equals to plus or minus 11 by 2. Okay, now we have to verify. See, if you take D is equals to 1, you are not going to get this minus 1 by 2, because if you take D is equals to 1, A is equals to 5, all are integer, there is no fraction. So therefore we can directly cut this D is equal to plus or minus 1. Now you take D is equals to 11 by 2 or minus 11 by 2. So D is equal to 11 by 2 if you take, and what is the A value we got already? 5. Okay, so now we calculate the 5 terms. A minus 2D. A minus 2D means 5 minus 2D. 2D means 22 by 2, which is what? 2 5 is 10 minus 22. 10 minus 22 minus 12 by 2, which is minus 6. So we get the first term minus 6. Now what is the next one? Because of common difference, how much we are taking? 11 by 2. So minus 6 plus 11 by 2 will be the second one. So 2 6 are minus 12 plus 11, which is what? Minus 1 by 2 that we got. Right? He is saying in the problem, one of these 5 terms is minus 1 by. Yes, we have minus 1 by 2. So like this, if you calculate the next one, if you add once again, what do you have to add next for third term? Again we have to add plus 11 by 2. So you get 11 minus 1, 10 by 2, which is 5. Again we have to add. So we want actually the greatest number. The greatest number will be the last one. A plus 2D will be the greatest term. A is 5 plus 2D is what? 2D is what? 2 into 11, 22 by 2, which is 11. 11 plus 5, which is 16. Alright, so which is A option. Okay, so you have to understand this. Actually, we got d values, 4 values. One is plus 11 by 2, other is minus 11 by 2, and one more, d is equal to plus 1 and d is equals to minus 1. If you take d equal to 1 or minus 1, you are not going to get any fractions because of a is an integer, d is an integer. So therefore, all these 5 terms will become an integer. So directly we can omit this d is equal to plus or minus 1. The remaining thing is d is equal to 11 by 2 or minus 11 by 2. So if you take d is equal to 11 by 2, the terms you get in this direction, then the d is equal to minus 1, you get like this. Okay, so the hint is this: out of those 5 terms, you must have minus 1 by 2. There is a hint to select the d value, right? Otherwise, there is no use of minus 1 by 2 because if you got d, you got a, so you can construct the arithmetic progression. But in that arithmetic progression is saying that there should be minus 1 by 2. So using that hint, we are going to select the proper value of d. So here I took d is equal to 11 by 2. So instead of d is equal to 11 by 2, if you take d is equals to minus 11 by 2, then also you are going to get the same arithmetic progression, but in reverse order you are going to get.